Hi folks, it's Chris Baynes at Coldwell Banker Seacoast Advantage. Hope you guys are doing great. It is time for another market update. I was a little late getting April's out, but I want to go ahead and get May's out right away. It takes us a little over a week, almost 2 weeks, to get the data from the previous month. But I think it's important for those of you that are thinking about moving to the area, or if you're in the area and you're thinking about selling, keeping abreast of exactly what's going on, because it's a wacky world out there when it comes to real estate, and it has been ever since the market turned back in 07 and 08. We've seen some substantial falls in the market, but the last year and a half, 2 years, things are starting to turn back around, but it's doing it in a manner that's a little different than it was historically we're used to seeing. Typically, you would see the fall, and then you would see it start to rise back up. And what happened is we saw the fall, we saw some rise and some flattening, and some rise and flattening, hitting little plateaus like that. So real quick, looking at May, the last month, May of 2014, I had a little over 4,000 homes on the market. That inventory-wise, we're up about 10% over last year, so that's good. We need some more inventory out there. It still isn't really quite enough because it's hard to find some of the homes out there. That's why we have some of our search software programs for our clients that are looking for properties that lets them know the minute a property comes on the market. They'll see it every single day, because if you see it a week later or 2 weeks later, if it's a good property, it's probably going to be too late. Our average list price is about $363,000. That's down about 4.3% overall from last year, and you're going to see minor fluctuations like that. Now, I'm not as worried about the average sold price as some other indicators I'll tell you about here shortly. Our average sold price is up 1.5% from last month. Again, that's negligible, but we're about 7.5% over increase in the average sales price over last year. That's the kind of number we want to look at. What are we looking at as compared to last year in a broader, longer term? Our sold units were up 18.8% over the previous month, but we're down just a little bit from last May. They're about 3 to 4% down from last May. Our median sold price is up 2% from last month. That's pretty indicative of the market that we're in now. It's spring, summer's coming. People like to move at that time. So you'll see more properties on the market. You'll see more sales occur. And the next indicator shows that. Our pending index. These are homes that are on the market, have contracts on them, but haven't closed yet. They're just about to break the 1,200 mark. They broke 1,100 units back in April, and we're about to break 1,200 mark, which is fantastic. It's probably the best we've seen in 7 or 8 years. So that's really good stuff. Our market absorption rate. If we didn't list any more homes, how long would it take for us to sell what we have? We finally dipped about 6.5 months. Once we hit 6 months and under, that's a pretty good indicator of a shift in the market back towards a little bit more of a seller's market. So we're not quite at a seller's market, not quite in a buyer's market. We're just kind of hanging out somewhere in the middle. And that's one of those things that's a little unusual to happen, as usually once that swings, it swings pretty quickly, but it's a slower swing. And I think people are just being more cautious these days. Our average days on the market dropped from like 134 days before a property would sell to 124. That's also normal this time of year. Our list to sold price ratio is about 96%. So you can expect on average that whatever a property is listed at, it's going to sell for probably about 4% less, but it's dependent on the property and how well it's priced. That's just an average number. Interest rates are up just a tad over last year. They were right around 3.9%. Now they're a little over 4.1%. That's going to fluctuate a little bit depending on how the economy recovers, and I know you know that. But that's our report this time. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Look forward to seeing you or hearing from you. You guys have a great weekend.